Xbox One and PC for £24.99, and it's also available for free on Xbox Game Pass. I believe it's $29.99 in the US as well. So what this game is it's a first-person shooter with roguelike and survival elements to it, and also some strategic elements as well. And in terms of gameplay, it shows a lot of kind of similarities to BioShock, and it's more of a kind of thinking man shooter. In the different tools that you have at your disposal, but it's very light-hearted and more kind of tongue-in-cheek. There's lots very British kind of humor in this, which is interesting because like the developers based out of Australia, but they've got a very good grasp on the kind of British humor style of this game, and the main sort of story of it is you're a prisoner aboard the Void Ark, and the prisoners keep getting rehydrated, right? Because they're dehydrated. You've got to rehydrate them and then send them out into the nebula to collect parts to repair the ship in order to escape the nebula. That's the basic setup of it, and so as you're progressing, you need to build different parts for the ship. For example, right, so like just now I'm trying to build the water cooling unit, and I built the water-based lube, but I need the cool pulse wrapper and the body fluid. And then when you go in here, pressing Y to go into your parts, you know, the body fluid there, it's going to tell you you need plas, slag and volts for that, and then yeah, I've got enough data, but I need plas and volts for that. And then as I say, I've got the water-based lube, but then there's all this other stuff, and you see it tells you you know, what you can use to build, and then so that's how you get all of your different weapons and other items that you can use to help you know, defeating enemies and stuff like that. And what you have here is these ships are sort of like procedurally generated, and as you select them there on the right hand side, it will tell you like what sort of enemies you'll be facing. This one has lots of slippery oil, and it has a boss on there as well, which will be the janitor or the tourist. There'll be like a boss version of them, which basically has a lot more health and, you know, can do more damage and stuff. And it will tell you I'll find bullets and zap charges on this ship, and also like on these, right, if there's a specific thing you want to build, you can press X for locate mode, and then you can click it like click A to locate, and then when you go, it will show you like a green arrow to where you'll find the parts in order to build that. Right now the white arrow is sort of your main objective. That's showing you what I need to find the bits for the water cooling, like the body fluid and the cool pot wrapper that I need currently. So yeah, see as you go to each of these, and a lot of the ships, like especially the kind of luxury cruise ships here, they all have a kind of generic layout of a lot of them, but some of them are different. It just depends. As I say, it's kind of randomized, so you get kind of different kind of layouts all the time. And then as you progress as well, you get sort of different enemy types introduced and harder variants of them. So the you know, it has a very addicting sort of gameplay loop where you want to, you know, keep playing and you want to get all of this, and then you look and you see what you need and where you need to go in order to get it, as well as, you know, crafting the things that you need just in order to progress the main story. And the main story itself, right, isn't memorable, I would say, but it's kind of light-hearted and a bit fun and a bit cheeky. The main kind of thing I've enjoyed most about the game is the loop, right? The addicting kind of gameplay loop of it. So I'm gonna jump into this. Oh right, and also within a roguelike, when you die, right, you get a new character. A new prisoner gets hydrated, right, and they'll have kind of random different traits and stuff, right. So like, you know, this guy here, right, he's got 750 health, and he's got let me see, yeah, so he's Eddie Adams, prisoner. It'll tell you a little bit about them, right. There's prisoner number there. His offence being a member of a prescribed organisation, and then they always have like a strength and weaknesses. This one just has a little strength. He's got 25% of the time starts a mission. 25%. 25% of the time, right? So he's got 25% chance to start a mission with the whole map revealed, which, you know, could be very helpful. I'll just jump into the map to show you, right? Some of these weapons, right? Some of them are kind of variants on kind of standard weapons. Like you've got a pistol there. A stapler is essentially a shotgun. Fire staples, so it's a little bit more fun. The toaster is like a pulse rifle, and you've got to charge it up. And it can also pass through windows. You can shoot enemies through them as well. That's basically an SMG. It's a drill. Sorry, it's a rivet gun. And this one kind of fires a big ball of explosive gas, right? Kind of like a BFG, kind of that kind of thing. And then the bushwalkers are like mines that you can place with kind of area of effect, and if the enemies go near it, they're gonna blow up. And bangers are grenades, basically. The gem spiker, you can poison enemies, and it's also silent, so if you want to be stealthy, you can use that. The cluster flak fires like cluster bombs. It's very unstable, so it can blow you up if you're not careful. But the best way is to fire it in a room and then shut the door. And got a zapper that can like stun. It's useful for like turrets, which I mostly use it for. And you can stun any enemy with it. And kitty bots, little cat robots. They're probably my favourite actually. They kind of go about, and to begin with they just kind of distract enemies, and then eventually they'll blow up. But I've upgraded it so when it blows up, it also fires out cluster bombs. Good fun. So I'm gonna take a pistol, take the grenades and the cables. So then, when you jump into the map, you know, you can see the layout there, and like as you play, it took me a while to learn all of this, right? But as you play, you'll learn which each of these does, and so like the helm there, you can download the data of the ship's computer. It will show you where all the loot is, right? But that's what his trait was on about, the 25%. He'll already have all of the loot on the map, basically. And then you've only got a set amount of oxygen. Sometimes you've got to go to the O2 station, which there isn't one on this ship. So basically you've got a time limit, right? Because you can't top up your O2 again. But if there was one, you know, you would look and say, oh, and when you were running out, you would go and you would top it up, right? Sometimes you'll go and there'll be no power, so you have to go to the generator to turn the power on. And sometimes when you do that, it only lasts for so long, so you have to keep going back, turning the generator on. So there's a lot of different kind of variants that can happen. As it's always kind of random, can randomize little differences that keeps it kind of interesting. Where's that blue camera? You've got like security cameras, and there's a security bot on board. Usually at the it's stationed usually at the helm as well, which we're. Oh, actually, he's got his trait, so everything's popped up that I can collect. So this is basically what you do. You go about and you want to loot everywhere where there's a star, right? So I know now that. Oops.
Secbot is on the way and will end your life shortly.
So you can see the combat here, and it all looks very, fun and cool with its kind of comic book art style. I like the different enemy types. Maybe get a better look at them in a minute. I shut the door. I was hoping that that kitty bot was gonna be. Oof. When I tried taking this out. Oh God! Yeah, the kitty bots just blew up. Fired off his, and most of them got me. He's knocked off like half my health. But the action in it is kind of chaotic and. I'm gonna, that's the security station there, right? So if I'd have went there first, say, which would have probably been a better idea, I could have turned the turrets off. Any kind of mechanical kind of defenses they've got, I could have turned them off beforehand. So that's another thing you can do. You also find on some of the ships there's like recycling stations, and what you can like recycle some of your materials and you get money for it. And then there's like shops, ships where it's just different vending machines that you can buy any materials, right, that you're needing. Oh yeah, it's that one. I can't open it just now because I haven't got enough merits, but yeah, so it's these, you can see all these coming up. So what I'm gonna do just now is I'm gonna lock the door on them. Although there isn't really anything, but it was just to show you, you can just lock the door on enemies if you want as well. And when you look at the map, you can kind of strategize it that way and say, all right, there's enemies over there. I'll lock that there, and then I'll just go around the other way. So there's lots of different things that you can do. Because I've shut the security down, that turret's down at the moment. And also, right, I can also, if I had enough merits, I can subvert it, which basically means I take it over, I hack it, if you like, and that would be my turret then. So I could go and let them out, right, bring them through here, and the turret would fight for me if I took it over. So that's another kind of thing you can do. So this, I've done quite a lot of tough missions, and I'm kind of running a little bit low in supplies at the moment. Oh God. see. Oh, go and lock him out. These enemies, I can fight them if I want as well. There wouldn't be too much trouble necessarily, but just to show you, you can just kind of lock them out as well. So there's another kind of little element you can do. To begin with, right? Oh, a bit more troublesome, but I've done most myself without the damn kitty bot. Just, quite chaotic with them cluster bombs. You really got to sort of. But what I've done was I shut the door and I blooming shot him in with me instead of them. Right, so I'm gonna head through here and go and see if I can get some of this fuel. I think it's just tourists, which is these guys. So these guys will blow up if you just go near them, right? Another thing you could do, kind of save your bullets and that. Oh my god! And then he pops up, which kind of makes it a bit chaotic and a bit more tricky. And then if you right, good, he's still deactivated that turret. And then you've got to look, and I'm thinking, right, maybe go. This is it. You're looking. Oh god, and I'm all slippery with that oil. I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna jump through here, try and get the fuel. But then you might look at that and say, oh no, you know what? I don't fancy my chances. I'm just gonna leave. Because if you die, then you'll lose everything you've collected here with this guy. Oh, you just slip about all over the shop. Right, so I'm just gonna head through here. Head for the exit.
All clients.
You know, that basic loop is what you will do over and over and over again in this game, pretty much, with different layouts, different enemy types, right? And I found it very addictive and fun. I've really enjoyed it, and if you like that sort of thing, then there's a lot to love about this game. And like, but you might think, oh, it's repetitious, and it is, but I've really enjoyed the repetition, and I've been playing it for about a week and a half. I've had it, and yeah, I've been really enjoying the game, and the kind of it's always like there's always something else that you're gonna build, and then you've got a new toy to play with, and that keeps the fun going, right? And as you keep going, and then you get the cutscenes for the stories, and they're usually quite funny and stuff. So there's a lot to love in this game. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10, and I hope you enjoyed the review. Thanks very much for watching. If you did, leave me a like, consider subscribing to the channel, really helps us out a lot, and I'll catch you guys again next time. Alright, thanks guys, bye.